What's going on, guys? It's Brendan Borman here, back for another 270 video. It is April 29th, and the big Vice President update has dropped for 270. And just like other updates in the game, um, it costs money, and there are some controversial feedback when it comes to the update. So let's take a deeper dive into this update. And if you guys have any comments on what you think about the update, feel free to drop that below. So, a couple hours ago, 270 on the lounge made a post that everyone needed to update their version so that the new update would reflect on their game. And I know some players did not find the update right away because they did not have Steam. They was either on their Android or iOS, and so eventually players will begin to catch up with that. But 270, they did make an official post just to kind of clarify what this update would allow and what it would not allow. And so we'll take a look at that. So, just to clarify, it does cost, and there are several advantages to having it. The benefit of the vice president is it adds to your strengths. They will take the top 3 strengths of the vice president and add 1/2 of them to the candidate, so 50% of their top 3 bonuses. If there are equal strengths, we give preference to national groups first, followed by state groups, which is good because it would then bump up the national groups, which are underutilized in the game. Also, we take 1 weakness and add that half of that weakness to the candidate. If there are tied weaknesses, we start with national groups and work down in that order. So you can play with your vice president on or off, and that is up to you. So I know there have been some several different comments, but VP mode can be reused for the main candidate indefinitely. And as a player can add swap VPs, they can also play against the AI with the candidate. They can choose the VP for the AI, which can make the AI harder. So for those of you, myself included, who are complaining that the AI mode, the hard mode, is not that hard, maybe you can give them a vice president candidate and see if that makes it just a little bit harder. Now, Tyler Barola had several interesting things to say. He said that this is a pay-to-win type of scheme. Candidates will be way too overpowered to compete if you're not willing to pay up for that feature, which I do know that several people have that same mindset, and he thinks that's a shame. He does go on to also talk about the same update in a different post, and I do believe that that one is also worth taking a look at. So while I am pulling that up, like I said, be sure to comment your thoughts about this update below. This is kind of a brand new channel for me, where I'm talking all things 270, and I know the community is really excited about the upcoming election, excited about all the things going on in the game, but we definitely want to, make sure it's a fun game and fair game for everybody. He says, Tyler goes on to continue to write, the VP mode is paid up win. It creates massively overpowered candidates that are nearly impossible to beat with standard characters. This will serve to not only serve up easier wins to those willing to pay, but also discourage folks who are new to the game from putting in the time it takes to actually get good. It's not smart from a business or ethical standpoint. Please join him in calling out 270 to disallow VP candidates from online play. If you want to pay for it and play against your friends who also pay for it, go ahead. But it's not a smart move to grow the popularity of the game or to maintain a fair online play environment. Thank you for coming to his TED Talk. He also goes on to write in an edit that an alternate kind of idea would be to create an online separate lobby where players who have bought the vice president can play against each other. It's really not fun to just demolish people who have OP candidates anyway. And I love this. He adds some screenshots here. So If you had Abraham Lincoln and you had Hillary Clinton as your vice president candidate, you'd have a 68% African American bonus, a 38% export bonus, and his women's movement bonus would go up national groups to 42%. And his gun lobby, which would be negatively affected to 25%. But you wouldn't use gun lobby if you were Abraham Lincoln. So again, just one example. Another common example here would be Barack Obama with just about anybody. But if you wanted to do kind of boost up your national groups and maybe Latino, keep your African American at 50%. Why not have a Latino bonus at 52%? Labor and environment and youth vote, both national groups at 35%. That would give Obama 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 total bonuses over 35%, 2 of them above 50%. That would be insane. Now, kind of the most talked about hypothetical bonus would be both of the Obamas together. If you had Barack Obama and Michelle Obama as the vice president, you would have a 75% bonus for African Americans, a 32% bonus for women's movement, and a 30% bonus for youth. Whew, excuse me. It's almost midnight here, but I'm just so excited to talk about this that I'm choosing not to sleep. I actually prefer the AOC vice president bonus because, African American, instead of getting, 150, you'd have 175, but that'd be so obvious and it really doesn't help you across the board. That I think other players would be targeting your African American, trying to go in the Old South and other things like that. So crazy. One more example. So good old Bill de Blasio and Jill Stein would combine for a 70% labor and environment bonus. Holy cow. That is crazy. Actually, there's a couple comments. Cedar Lay and Charlie Rigo, wow, this is scary. I might actually vote for this ticket. So, yeah, definitely some interesting thoughts. We'll see what happens with this update. I know there was a big stink about primary mode a few months ago, and eventually 270 changed course. Obviously, at the end of the day, it's their game, but our decisions, what we purchase, how we enjoy the game, that will ultimately decide the future of 270. So, don't be mean about it. They're trying their best to grow the game, add new content, but if there's something that you would suggest that they make changes, they do offer the feedback button. And I do know that they are constantly viewing the lounge. So thank you again for tuning in to this video, and I will see you on the next one. Goodbye.